Okay, we're live.
Hi guys, sorry for the late start, but thank you guys for joining us today. We're going to be working on a little pen and ink project I told you guys about earlier. This is a good project to start continuing our practice on keeping our lines consistent and working on a little bit of angles. This actually might seem a little bit similar to when we're working on the perspective projects about how our lines are going to be following the angle of the shapes that we're filling in. I just think it ends up looking nice to have the lines mimicking the angles that we're actually filling in. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So here's what the finished product will look like. And at some point we will have links either email or on the Facebook that will link this picture so that you will be able to print it out and work on it at home. So if you're not able to work on it with us right now, that's okay. You guys can do that later.
It is in the Facebook group right now.
It is in the Facebook group
event. There's
okay,
a picture I posted that they can click on and print to their printer right now, if they are able.
Great. And if not, that's okay. You guys can still draw yourself little shapes. It's a little bit like perspective. And we're just working on doing a little bit of shading with regards to where sunlight is. So we've done projects like this in my pen and ink class. We're going to talk a little bit about the value scale, which is going to be over here. So there is 0, 1, and 2. And these 0, 1, and 2s are in the shapes inside here. So ideally, the 0 is going to be pure white. So nothing's going to be in the zeros. 1 will have 1 layer of pen on it, and then 2 should have 2 on it. Now, when I did mine, I will say I actually went back on a few of the 2s. They didn't appear dark enough to me, so I actually went back and did another layer. So it's not like a set in stone thing, but I want you to start by doing 1 layer and 2 layer and then add more darkness if needed. So I'm going to be using, pardon me, I'm using a regular artist pen today. I think I might use this one or my Micron. My Micron is pretty tiny. Maybe I'll use that one today. So the Micron that I'm using is a 005. I would say that if you guys are using artist pencils, don't use something really, really big. So artist pencils go all the way up to like 505 and 08. That's really big. I wouldn't go that big for this project if you can help it. And if you're deciding between a Sharpie and like a ballpoint, I would use a ballpoint over the Sharpie. The Sharpie is really fat, and I think this would be a little bit too hard with a Sharpie. So no Sharpie, use artist pen or the ballpoint.
Yes, ma'am. Gia's got a question.
So yes. I have a Micron 01, but is a 05 bigger or smaller? I don't know how the numbers go.
I think it's a 0.5. That's going to be bigger than a 005. So 005 is really, really tiny.
And a 02 is bigger or smaller than a 01?
Bigger. So ideally it goes from, I think Micron even has it now. There's like a 003, a 005. Then it goes up to the 01, 02, 03, and then it skips 05 and then 08.
Okay, and what size would you recommend? Because I don't know if I'm in the wrong one.
I would do a 005 or a 01 is ideal.
Oh, okay.
5 is the absolute biggest I would go. That's pretty big.
Okay, thanks.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's start. So I'm going to be starting with all of my 1s. And I'm going to start with all of my 1s. I'm going to start with looking at the angles. So let's see, I'm going to pick down here this little guy in the front. He's pretty easy. He is actually slightly angled out on both sides. So using my 00.
Miss Hannah?
Yes, ma'am?
Which pen technique would you like us to use for this one?
Thank you. I didn't mention that. We are using only hatching. Okay. So single lines. And then I think I take that back. I used cross hatching in the number 2 boxes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so there's 1 box down. So now I'm going to continue. I'll see if I find another weird one.
So wait, you do like switch the angle as you get closer to the center?
I did, yeah. So it's kind of like, so we've done eyelashes and we've done perspective videos where it's kind of like I did a slight angle at the outer edge, and then I got more and more straight as I went towards the middle. And then as I went to the right side, I went slightly tilting out to the right. Okay. Now, this is ideal. If you don't want to do that and you just want to put them all straight, that's fine. All right, has everyone finished the front box?
No.
What?
I'm excited to have you watercolor with us, Miss Gia.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. Somehow having you paint and draw with me makes me laugh.
It's not nice at all.
It's a good laugh. I enjoy it. I enjoy working with you. Looks like Gianna's done. Is everyone ready for the next step?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we're moving on. So I'm going to pick one of the odd ones over here just because I want to. Oh, did my laptop view just cut out? I think it probably did.
I think it did.
Yeah, it's wanting to restart the computer for an update. That's why.
Oh, just say no or something.
Just ignore it.
Ignore.
Okay, now which one?
Okay, I'm trying to make it go away.
Oh, okay.
Today. Go away.
Soleil,
Okay.
are you able to draw yourself some shapes that you can color in?
Yes, I'm doing my best. I'm not very good at shapes, but here I am.
That's okay. So we're gonna pick a funny angled one. I'm trying to get through all the angled ones, and then you guys can be let loose and do all the ones you want to. I'm doing this this box over here. It's sitting in front of the triangle, so it's right here.
Okay.
I am doing number 1, and it's at a little funny angle like this again. And it looks like the same thing for this one, you guys. It's this way, and then it gets straight, and then it starts angling down again. I think these shapes are a little weird. I want you guys to make note, I am turning my paper. I turn my paper a lot with pen and ink. I think that doing it all in the same angle is not very easy. We're having trouble finding the site. I think I'm abandoning my laptop.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we have the important part.
Okay. So unless you guys are confused about any one of the shapes, I'm just going to continue on filling on all my ones. I'm going to do this really tall rectangular shape here because it has a very nice angle to it. And then I'm going to follow this all the way down.
Wait, why would it be that way
What?
instead of up and down?
I'll tell you why. So remember I told in the last video that anything longer than about 1.5 inches, 2 inches is difficult to do straight for me.
Oh.
If I turn it this way, then it's ridiculously easy.
So really it's about how many layers and not about the direction on this one.
Yes. I also think that turning it this direction does, in my head anyway, help with the look of it going around something, because the lines, your lines do draw your eye places. And I do think because my lines are horizontal instead of vertical, personally, I think that it's kind of making my eyes pull sideways, but maybe that's just me. Because then if my lines on the box number 2, they're going at this nice little triangle angle like this, I just think it's going to show more of the angle of the box and not make it look so flat. All right, so I am sporadically now going through and I'm just filling in all of the number 1 boxes. So if you guys run into any issues or questions, let me know, but that's what I'm just going to be doing right now, is filling in all the number 1s. Lucy, did you ever get the printer or the link to work? I don't know if she can hear me.
She's muted. So I can't hear her.
She needs to-
Also, for anybody who took pen and ink with me last time, we did a project actually not too dissimilar from this one, where the objective was, and actually maybe I will do it sometime in the videos because I thought it was so good. It was all these little boxes, and depending on how you ink your lines, like what direction you ink your lines, it helps to create the illusion of it being 3D versus flat. So having all your lines go exactly the same direction is not helpful with regards to making this look 3D. So changing the direction of your lines is what really helps these boxes to go from looking flat to 3D. I don't think you've done this one before yet, Gianna, have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I think I did all my ones. How are you guys doing with your all ones?
Good. I'll get here.
Good. Who said that?
Me. So late.
Okay, so I'm going to start hatching away at my twos. So if you're ready, go ahead and start working on the twos. You're going to start by, it'll be identical to the ones. You're just going to start by laying in some lines, and then we'll add in our layer 2. You can do it as you go along, or do all the first layer and then come back, whatever is easiest for you or makes most sense. Mr. John, are you doing this digitally today again?
Yeah, I'm trying to, but it's a little more difficult.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't even know how you'd get that onto a digital platform, but
Well, and I guess since I'm using my phone and not a tablet, so it's even smaller. It's a little,
oh yeah.
it's a challenge.
Oh my. Whoopsies.
Miss Anna, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So on this part right here, the little triangle, what direction did you do on that?
This one?
Yes.
What did I do? I think I did mine almost straight across the first layer.
Just like,
Yeah, so I did mine horizontal first.
I don't
okay.
see it in yours, Anna.
What's that?
I don't see that little teeny triangle.
This one?
Oh,
No, the smaller
Down,
one
little
underneath the
teeny
box. It's like,
down.
you know, the little box and the big box?
down,
This?
up,
No, up.
halfway, right in the,
Right there.
to the right. To the right.
Yeah.
Stop,
No,
left,
too far. Too far. Left back. Right,
stop,
down.
down,
Right there. No.
up.
Are we looking at a box? What are we looking for?
It's a triangle.
It's this.
I only have one triangle on mine. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, you forgot
A little triangle that you did not color in, it looks like.
on the top of a box.
Oh my gosh, maybe I'm not seeing what you guys are seeing. What triangle?
Wait, Miss Anna, look.
Oh, are we talking about this little number 2?
No, down. It says 1.
Hold on, sweetie. I can't see. I want to see your picture bigger. I can't see your picture bigger, so I can't see.
Dad.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
The little one right there.
Oh, thank you. I see it now. Yes, I did it. Here, let's see my picture. I did it this angle. For back on my camera now. I did it. So here's the angle of this box is going like this. So I'm looking, it's like this. This is the angle, you guys. So I just followed the line with that angle going this way.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. That took a long time. I was looking for a legit like triangle, you guys. Sorry. I was like, I must be like blind because I cannot see any triangle. Soleil and Summer, did you guys manage to get anything to work on your end?
Yeah, I worked. My shapes are a little nuts, but oh gosh, I don't know. It's kind of hard.
You made your own shapes, right?
Did you make your own?
Yeah, I tried. They look really weird.
That's okay.
I'm
It's a
sure
good
it's fine.
practice.
Yeah, it's good to practice.
And then if you guys get the printer to work, you can always do it again printed.
Tomorrow, when we do the trees, you do not have to have anything printed out in advance, right?
Correct. We're just going to do it by hand. It's
Okay,
pretty
good.
easy.
Okay, awesome.
I have to say, having them to needed to get printed first before our project is making it a little more tricky.
It is, but it's also our very first try.
It is, because I really think we need to do this, but getting over the difficulties is just part of it. I don't know why in my head I always think I'm not going to finish these with you guys, and then I always do. I will say this, Miss Gia, I always talked about how when I'm teaching in class, how I always miss that I'm not actually able to work. I'm always just teaching. I don't get to do anything myself. Doing it this way means I always get to work more on my own art.
That is true.
Okay, I think I've done all of the 1s and 2s. So I'm now going to go back into all my 2 boxes and I'm going to start adding in my cross hatching to all of them. It doesn't matter what direction you guys choose to go. So if you choose to do vertical and horizontal, that's okay. I'm rather fond of diagonal for my cross hatching, but that's going to be completely up to you. How you doing, Gianna?
So far, so good. It's definitely showing that I need to work on my cross hatching.
I feel like that hasn't been your favorite, so maybe we'll work on that more from now on.
Yeah.
Which is okay. I always think it's okay that it's not your preferred. Just means we'll work on it a little bit once in a while.
Ooh, there we go.
This project is also very similar to one that we do about halfway through the semester in the pen ink class. And I'm sure, Gianna, you remember when we get these bigger shapes and we practice using either pointillism or cross-hatching. And we have to do the whole picture with values using pointillism or cross-hatching. Do you remember that project?
Yeah, that took a long time.
Yeah, as I recall, you chose pointillism, and I think you had to start over because something got on your picture. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and then I tried to do cross hatching, and it wasn't looking like what I wanted. So I ended up going back to the original.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I went back and forth a few times.
I have started over quite a few projects, so I feel ya.
Same.
It's never fun, but I always try to encourage you guys that you learn a lot when you're willing to start over something. Not pleasant, but you learn a lot.
That's what I had to do during my first colored pencil class.
So you get to start over.
Yep. I didn't really know what burnishing was, so I burnished far too soon, and it just ruined it. And I went to my teacher and I'm like, okay, I learned so much from this. I'm begging you, please let me start over. I know I can do better. And I was so happy with it afterwards. So
Oh, good. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot you can do once you've burnished colored pencils too far.
I know. It stunk. Also, since I was such a beginner, I unknowingly chose a really hard picture.
Yes.
It had weird shadows. I didn't even know what to do with it.
Were the shadows tinted with color?
Well, it was a fox on this black rock. The rock was completely black. And until after I looked at the picture even closely, keep in mind, this was like after my 5th week of doing the same picture, that's when I actually realized it was a rock and not just a blurred out picture in the thing in the photograph. So, and there was like these occasional moss spots too. So I don't even know how I would have done it.
Well, it's good you caught on before you went too late into the semester.
Yeah,
How are you guys doing?
Meh.
really good.
I heard a meh. Meh. So
Not a-
I want to tell you guys, there isn't a number on this, but I did it myself. Do you guys see where this is? This guy?
Mhm.
He doesn't have a number, but gosh dang, I think that should be a 1. So when I did it myself on the first one, I made that a 1. So I would go ahead and put a little bit of pen on that guy because I don't really think that should be bright white. Now here comes the fun part that I like about cross-hatching is that you can build this. Now you could stop right where this is, and I think this looks fine, and it does show that 1 and 2 are different, but a few of the boxes to my eye could use a little bit more. So I'm gonna go back in on some of the 2s, and I'm gonna add a little bit more pen. In this instance, you wanna try to go another direction. So whatever direction you went with layer 2, try to go a different direction than again for layer 3. So I'm gonna go through some of my boxes because they're not quite as dark as I would like them to be. That's partly because I am using a 005, which is a pretty tiny pen. So it does usually require a bit more layers to get as much impact. If you guys are using a larger pen, you might not have this problem at all. You might find that yours is plenty dark. My lines are so tiny. There we go. It's just turning out a little bit darker. Somebody's inking like the wind.
That might be me.
I thought it was a dog panting.
I know, that's what it kind of sounded like. But my dog's sitting here and he's not doing anything.
I'm just drawing on top of my sketchbook and it's kind of bumpy.
Yeah, my dog's been at my feet a lot because when I work, I have a heater on. So he likes to hog the heater. Something I was going to mention about pen brands for anybody who's tuning in and they don't have pens yet or artist pens, but they would like to buy some artist pens. There are a lot of pens out there that I don't even have. I've had several students come to class and they bought pens from Amazon. I think we've even linked some of the brands on our website, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Gia. But there's a lot, you guys, and you guys can just try them out. There really isn't a right or wrong with pens. You'll find really quickly as you begin to try out different pens that you'll have favorites. They all have different properties to them. Like I said, these days I try to look for a pen that's permanent, or waterproof is usually the word they use. But other than that, just try different pens. I will also warn you, I said it in the last video, pens come in different undertones and it's hard to show accurately in the video. But even when a pen looks black, it can have brown undertones or it can have purple undertones. So make sure that you are looking for that if you swap pens in the middle of a project. Like in the middle of this, if I swap to like a Prismacolor is purple, which I mentioned earlier in the last video. So it will become very evident in your picture when they're side by side that they are not the same color of black. Other than that, just try a pen. You may even find a new one that you quite like. And as I recall, I can't remember the brand off the top of my head, but the person that had one from Amazon, they were actually pretty good and they were very affordable. There was like a whole big set and they were pretty nice pens overall. So I would say try it out. The only bad things that I've had happen with pens that maybe weren't as good of a quality is sometimes, and this even happens with some microns, sometimes if the pen is bad, you'll get a bunch of ink that starts coming out right in here, starts kind of like coming out. And so you go to ink and all of a sudden this ink that's been sort of building at the end of the tip sort of explodes on your paper. And all of a sudden you've got a giant ball of ink that's just exploded. So, that's exciting. Other than that, like I said, most pens are just pens. How are you guys doing? Are you guys almost done or where are you guys at?
I'm not gonna finish, but that's okay.
That's okay. How about Gianna or Miss Gia? How are you doing?
Mom's in a different room,
Okay.
and I'm done. But I definitely think that there's more for me to work on. Like, maybe I should redo it again because it's not as what I was hoping for.
I'm trying to pull up the picture so I can see it. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's a little fuzzy on my end. I'm trying to see, but it looks like. What size pen did you use?
I used a 005, and then for the cross hatching, I decided to go up a size.
Okay.
So it wouldn't take me as long.
Oh, okay.
Cutting corners.
Yeah, I was like, Mr. John, can you highlight her picture so I can see it maybe even a little bit bigger?
He did.
I think I just did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me switch screens. I was maybe on the wrong screen. Aha. Oh yeah. So it looks like, sweetie, so you've got little tails going on some of your lines. So that's probably
Okay.
why you heard the sound that I heard. So sometimes if you're going too quickly, so let me see if I can demo this accurately. Sometimes if you go too quickly, it's what it looks like. I could be wrong. It looks like I'm getting a couple little flip backs on some of the sides like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like that. Like I said, without seeing your picture in person, I would say you probably went too quickly and you just need to slow down because it looked like you're getting little chunks at the ends of each of your lines, which is usually because you're sliding back and forth too quickly. Does that sound maybe right or?
Yeah, I definitely need to have some more control because it's very hard to stay inside the lines.
Okay, so this is good. I actually think then, Gianna, I know maybe it might bore you to tears, but if you print this out and try one more time, I think it'd be really nice to see if you can make it look nice and crisp.
Yeah, I think that I could do that.
Okay, good. Well, just something for fun. We have time on our hands.
We do.
Practice
lot
our
of time.
cross hatching. Okay, well, if no one else has any questions, I don't know if anybody else needs any assistance because I'm done too. So we look all good?
I
No
think-
raised hands or questions? Or any questions from Facebook? I can't see Facebook, so I don't know if anybody has any questions on Facebook.
I don't see any questions on Facebook, so I think we're
Okay.
probably good. What are we doing tomorrow?
So tomorrow is a tree, and see, I meant to bring the tree so I could show it to you guys. Tomorrow we're working on a tree, which will be really easy. All you're gonna need is you'll need a pencil though, and you'll need paper and then a pen. Now, same thing with tomorrow. If you have an artist pen, I would like you to grab an artist pen. The second choice is a ballpoint. So if you don't have an artist pen, grab a ballpoint. I don't think that Sharpie is gonna work real well with this one, especially with copy paper. It tends to bleed, but if this is all you have, we'll make it work. But like I said, option 1, option 2. So make sure you have pencil and a pen and some paper, and we'll work on drawing and shading a tree tomorrow. At, what was it, 2 o'clock, John? Does that sound right?
We have one at in the morning, I think.
I think,
Oh,
are you
no.
in the morning or I
Oh,
think,
yeah, I'm in the morning, then you're at 2 o'clock again.
yeah, okay. So I'm at 2 o'clock. So make sure you guys come in. What are you doing tomorrow morning, John?
I am doing stop motion.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about coming up with a story, storyboarding, getting ideas for making a stop motion movie.
Awesome. That sounds like really cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So join us tomorrow for John's stop motion stories. Is that right? Getting together your stories.
Yep. Storyboards. Yep.
And then later at 2 o'clock, we'll be drawing and inking a tree. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.